Doing today? Hey, how y'all doing today? My name is Jordan Ray. I'm a graduating senior liberal studies major from York, Pennsylvania. I'm going to be representing the Gamma Epsilon chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated today for the State of the Black Greek. My other moderator today is Sydney Mingo. Sydney, you can go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sydney Mingo. I am a graduating senior strategic communications major, leadership studies minor from Boca Raton, Florida. And I'm here representing the Gamma Iota chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. All right, so here we're going to have Julianne introduce herself, starting off.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julianne Jamat. I am a Spring 19 initiate into the gorgeous and talented Gamma Theta chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Hey everyone, my name is Richard Morris. I am a third-year sports management major for Washington, D.C., and I am representing the Beta Gamma chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassia Pierre-Lewis. I'm a graduating senior marketing major from Brooklyn, New York, and today I represent the Ravishing Low Alpha chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Kayla. KJ. KJ.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. All right, do you want to introduce yourself?
KJ. Uh-oh.
Okay.
No biggie, no worries. Kayla, can you hear us?
No, I don't think she can hear us. Okay.
All right.
All right, well, we're going to move on. Well,
right.
Actually, do one of you guys want to text her? See if she can. Okay. All right.
Yeah, when she comes back in, just go ahead and introduce herself. That's no worries. So today is just definitely going to be a nice little lighthearted conversation just about the state of the Black Greek, kind of what's going on in the Greek life for us today, especially during these COVID-19 times. As you guys know, our new vice president-elect, well, she's the vice president now, is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is part of our National Pan-Hellenic Council. So that's been huge for us. So this is going to be a nice discussion about kind of what it's like being Greek. But first, we're going to start off with two icebreakers, just kind of warm us up a little bit. So the first one is a riddle. I want to tell you guys the riddle. And figure out if you've heard the riddle before. Try to save it to the end. All right. So the riddle is: I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many didn't? Y'all heard me?
You kind of breaking up a little bit, bro.
Yeah.
It's breaking up?
A little bit.
Can you hear me now? All right. I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many didn't? All right. I have.
Wait, you said you have 30 cows.
I have 28 chickens and 28 chickens. How many didn't?
How many didn't what?
That's the question I was about to ask.
Or how many didn't in general?
I have 30.
I cannot hear anything.
Even still now, KJ?
Can you hear us now?
Okay, no.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for, inviting me here, but I don't know, it's my issues, but I can't hear anything. So, over and out.
Bye. All right, so back to the riddle. Repeat it one more time. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you have 30 cows.
I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many did not?
Wait, I thought you said did it.
No, did not. I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many didn't? How many did not? I have 30 cows and 28 chickens.
2?
No.
That's what I said.
I was all right. I have 30. I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many did not?
Oh wait, okay. I think you have 30 cows, 20.
Yeah.
How many?
I hear you.
10? Is it 10? Well, you said 28. Like they ate.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
You
it
said 10?
I'm back in the show. I'm back. Can you hear me?
You're good.
I'm good.
Nah,
AJ, you're doing the riddle.
Whoa, that took
I think
forever.
she got it though.
Is it 10? Like
It's
the
10.
8 chicken? Oh wow.
10, yeah. So
Wow.
the riddle was I have 30 cows and 28 chickens. So yeah, you're supposed to think 28 because I just said 30, but it's really 20 of the cows, 8
I
chickens.
kept repeating it in my head
So
until
how many did it? Would be 10. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right. Just for time's sake, we're gonna go ahead and just go kind of straight into the conversation. So Sydney, if you want to ask the first question.
All right. First question. How is the elections like Vice President Harris and Senator Raphael Warnock pivotal to the outlook of D9 organizations?
I guess I could start this. So, especially with our vice president, Kamala, it's like really given people who don't know about the National Panhellenic Council, like, or just even about Greek life in general, like they just get more of an insight of what we do, whether it's AKA, Delta, Zeta, like all of us in general. It's not just AKAs. Like, yes, she is an AKA, but at the end of the day, she's also D9. So I feel like as a whole, it gives us like people that don't understand us a better look into our organizations and what we actually do. And we're not just a white sorority where we do it for 4 years. This is a lifetime. And people don't know that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it also opens, like she said, like a door for like network and opportunities and things like that. So not only will more people know about D9 and become aware of it, but also maybe there's someone else in D9 that wants to potentially be where she is one day, and that could potentially get more people in that place.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question. Thank you for that, guys. So next question, what led you to your Greek organization? Richard, do you want to answer that?
Yeah. So what kind of led me to my Greek organization? I'm sorry for the background noise. Can y'all hear me well?
Yes.
All right. So because my mom's on like a Zoom call and they're like playing church music in the background, so she's praising the Lord right now. So it is what it is. But what led me to my Greek organization is that I am a legacy. I am a legacy. It's like a long list of legacies that like my family is a part of, and it's like blue and white. So mom is a Zeta she's crossed at Hampton. Dad crossed at Hampton, both 84. And then I got my aunt and my uncle, and then I got a few other like great grandmothers who are just Zetas and everything. So it's like was just kind of set in stone from the beginning. So I didn't really have any other choice. I'm not gonna say I didn't have any other choice, but I was really exposed just to blue, and so it just came out blue.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I have multiple reasons, but one of them would be in high school. A lot of my mentors and a lot of people that I looked up to and a lot of people that inspired me and like helped me kind of shape who I am and get me where I want to be in my life, they a lot of them were Greek, and a lot of the women in my life, they were Zetas as well. So being that I looked up to them and they were Zetas and things like that. That kind of pushed me to want to become a Zeta as well. And in high school, I was a part of a youth auxiliary attached with Zetas called the Arcanets, and I was a part of that as well. Oh, wow. And I was also Legacy as well. So that's just a few reasons why. But yeah.
I would say for me, I grew up in a family that everyone was part of D9. My family's very diverse into that. But honestly, will have to be my mom. I am a Legacy. It goes way back. My aunt, my grandma, everybody. So it's just like I kind of knew exactly what I wanted, but my mom always told me to like do my own research. So she was very big onto that because I have, like I said, everyone in my family is part of one of the D9. So it's just like me coming here and then really seeing, I guess the AKAs on campus really made me be like, okay, wow, this is what my mom's been talking about. So seeing it firsthand was really an eye-opening experience for me.
Yeah, mine's similar to KJ. My mom's an AKA, my sister's an AKA. So it was like I've been exposed to Greek life and AKA since I was a kid. But just like KJ's mom, like my mom was like, but you need to do this on your own. Just because I'm an AKA, just because your sister's an AKA doesn't mean you have to be an AKA. Like do your own research and see if it fits you. And so I did that and it ended up fitting me the best. So it just worked out in the end.
That's good. Jordan, what about you? Oh, he's frozen. Okay, well, I'll answer this question too. So my mother, she is Gamma Iota as well. And she actually told me nothing, believe it or not. Like I always knew that she was a Delta. I knew that she went to Hampton. I knew she was Gamma Iota, but like she didn't tell me like, go, do your research, go do this, go do that. I had to, when I came to Hampton, I kind of figured that out on my own. And it was just a great journey, to be honest. Researching all the orgs, really finding what you really want to do with your life through this process. It was really nice. So yeah, I guess we lost Jordan. Okay, well, we'll keep going. What is the importance of Greek life to our youth?
Well, I think it's very important. Also, Greek life, well, let's just get into HBCUs. I believe I'm from like pretty much dominant white community. And when I go back home, I make it very important to speak to my high school and talk about HBCUs. Now, of course, Greek life, you can have it at PWIs, but I think Greek life at HBCUs, it's so important and it's so beautiful and it's so rich and the history is just amazing. So I feel like Greek life, to me, is kind of the culture of HBCU culture. Like it's something that, I mean, I don't go to PWI, but it's when I hear my friends at cross at, a different university and they, we kind of share kind of experiences or they see certain things, they say it's so different and it is different. So I think Greek life is a beautiful thing and it's also more beautiful thing that we attend HBCU.
I think another important aspect to that too is just us giving back because, for example, AKA like one of our targets that we do is HBCU for life. So we educate high school and middle school students on what HBCUs are and like what they do. And that includes Greek life, like KJ said, because, if you go to a HBCU, there's Greek life there. So whether it's 2 orgs or all 9, somebody's there. So I think it's also important too, just to like give back to the youth as well. Just make sure they know what's going on.
I'm kind of like touching on what everyone said. Really, I agree with that. It's just real like kind of for me growing up. I know with my this goes into the last question a little bit too. Like watching my mom and her line sister. She was the only one in my immediate family that's a part of the D9 organization. So watching her with her line sisters, how they gave back to the youth, how they were able to give out scholarships, and people were able to want to strive for that. And when you look at people like Vice President Harris, see when she goes to places like HBCUs and she's in Greek D9 organizations, things like that, it's like people want to kind of aspire to do things like that. So if you can continue to put yourselves in places of where people aspire to do, it gets what you're involved with also exposed to those people and kind of makes people want to join them as well. Like all the people in my church were kind of bros, so that kind of led me to being like them, because they were active within their community, whether it was giving back to kids or they were just coaches of sports teams. They kind of did the stuff that I always wanted to, looked up to do or wanted to do. So that kind of made me want to be a part of it as well. So that's really how you can be impactful to the youth.
Yeah, I agree with everyone else is saying. Just to piggyback, also kind of builds like a sense of family and a sense of community, because sometimes not everyone in the home that they grew up in, not everyone might have like siblings, or not everyone might have like a community or someone that they can like lean on. So joining any organization of D9, you know that you can, like, you have someone to lean on, and just in general.
Just kind of like to add on and conclude it. I think from my point of view, since growing up in DC, a lot of people around me did not know about D9 organizations, or it wasn't like a talk. I know a few of my teachers that were a part of it, but they really didn't talk about it too much. And what D9 organizations can like do for the youth is just kind of like spread out a little bit more. Even if you don't know like a lot, you don't have to know like our founding dates or whatever, but you just know something like, oh, who they are and like what they've done, like what are they. So yeah.
I 100% agree with everything everybody said. Another thing I kind of wanted to touch on is the fact that, you know, when you reach out to one person in a D9 organization, you're also touching, getting in contact with maybe like 50 or 100, or maybe even like a whole chapter, or spread the word to a whole town. Like, you're getting to know a lot of people, and that's networking. So that's also another important thing when D9 organizations go out and work with youth organizations. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Can Greek life be consuming? What do you guys think?
Yes. Me personally, I don't, I'm not that obsessed, but some people, it just revolves their whole entire life. All they talk about is Greek life. All they do is Greek life. Like, it's their personality. And that is a problem. But
to piggyback, okay. Well, to piggyback on Juju, I feel like, some people may come into organizations saying like, the letters do not define who you are. And that's, I can see where people may get caught up with that and like get consumed and making that their identity. You have your own identity before you became anything, and you have to keep that. So, when people say it can consume you, that's more of you choose that. So people who's watching this, listening to this, and you thinking about joining sorority fraternity, do not make it define you. You stay true to who you are before the letters. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was actually about to say the same thing. I feel like it becomes consuming when you let it be consuming. Like, you already know who you were, or you should hopefully know who you were like before you joined the organization, and you shouldn't let those letters define you, because at the end of the day, you had things that you were doing, people that you surrounded yourself with before the organization, and that shouldn't change. The organization should help you grow, but I don't think it should consume your whole life and you just be completely all about that organization.
Exactly. One thing I kind of learned quickly, and I've only haven't been Greek too long, but it's harder being in the organization than it is like becoming a part of the organization. And that's like completely true, because it's like a whole bunch of stuff that you may be responsible for now. And it's to a point where you have to kind of take that with everything, you know what I mean? Take that, don't take it for granted, one, and be proud of what you're doing, and don't overuse those benefits, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to have that platform, use it for the positive rather than the negative, because people definitely can let it consume them and be like, oh, well, I'm this or that, so I can act this way. In all reality, that's not the case, because we're all still human beings and still like friends, and you had your friends before and friends afterwards. So I don't think it's ever cool to lose you being genuine and just letting your letters take over, because at that point, then like, why'd you really do it? So, make the most out of what you did, what you spent your time on doing.
Yeah, and there's a time and place for Greek life, you know? Like, you don't need to bring Greek life into the workplace 24/7. You don't need to bring it in the classroom 24/7. You know, there's a time and place for all of that. So, um, definitely, you know, check yourself. If you're, you know, in those type of situations where, you know, you feel like you want to like, do a little rep your org thing, you got to like assess your surroundings, you know, make sure, is this the right time and place for me to do that? You know, if you're out, anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, so just check your surroundings. That's basically what I meant. Okay, so on to the next question. What is your favorite part about being in your Greek organization and why?
So this might be a little bit childish, but my favorite part was that because I'm a legacy, I got spoiled when I crossed. So I have a whole bunch of like paraphernalia that I still get to wear and still wear like almost every day. But that's one of the things I'm happy about. Like I could say I like about Greek life a little bit. But besides that, honestly, it really is just like being known for something else other than just your name and actually being a part of an organization that's also with like the same alignments as your own. So being a part of like an organization with a group of brothers, like we have the same alignment and we represent the same thing, and being able to meet them outside of like whatever you do is always one of the great things I can like say I like about being a city.
KJ?
Someone else go. Okay. For me, I would say one thing that the question is like what you like, correct? Yeah. Well, honestly, I would say that you get to carry on the legacy, and you can just keep building on the bonds with your sisters, truly, and just know that this is forever. Like that is something like people, this is literally forever. This is lifelong, and the fact that that your sister's going to be there through the good times and the bad times, it's so fulfilling to know that. And also, if I have kids, I want my kids to share the same legacy. I want them to come to Hampton. I want to do. It's just like knowing, like, wow, like this is something that it's setting you up for life and bring back the connections. It's just like you can reach out to someone from '99. Like it's just something like it goes beyond your line. It goes just keeps going. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I was going to touch on the sisterhood aspect of it too. Like, I've met so many people that are on my line that I never would have thought, like, I never even knew existed. Like, KJ, for example, like, that is my best friend now. Like, and we met through AK. So it's just so amazing, like, the bonds that you make with your sisters and your brothers, even whether they're big sisters or little sisters, whatever. It's just the bond that you guys share is just so amazing. And then also just the networking, like we were talking about earlier. Like there's so many AKAs in the world, or so many other organizations, like members of your organization, where it's like if you're going for a job, they can help you out. So it's like the networking is amazing too, because they're always going to help you out, whether you're in the organization or D9.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
No, you gotta go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't want to agree with everyone else, but also, like I mentioned before, Zeta has different youth auxiliaries, and I was a part of one of them when I was in high school, and they have like a middle school and an elementary level. So being able to have that, I'd also want to like go back to like my hometown and like give back to them and help them the same way they helped build me as well. So I think that's one of my favorite parts.
So one of my favorite parts is definitely it's like, because honestly, sometimes I be forgetting that like I'm the bro. Sometimes I swear, like I be like just chilling, just cause I just really just be my own self, like doing whatever. But like when I'm with all my line brothers and we're just a couple of us, doesn't matter. Like when I'm with my line brothers, we're just chilling, laughing, having a good time together. That's like that one time where I really kind of really appreciate everything now I'm able to have. Like this is like a blessing to be able to be a part of this organization, to be able to be in this position, to have this platform. So it's when I'm together with my LBs is when I really can really be grateful for everything and really take all that in and just be happy that I have that brotherhood and friendship for the rest of my life. So that's probably my favorite part about uh, being in the organization is definitely the cohesiveness of it for sure.
Definitely have to agree with everybody. I can't really argue. So yeah, that really covers it. Definitely also another thing that one thing that I really like about being a part of my organization is it kind of brought me closer to being with my mom. My relationship with my mom. It's kind of just like, we have something that is just, me and her and the family now. Like, and it kind of brought us closer. So that's one of my favorite things that I really appreciate. And also just getting to know people like Julianne said, getting to know people that I had no idea of on campus. And next, meeting like some people that I can call my children's aunts now. Like it's an amazing bond, and it's crazy because it just grows every year. It just grows. So that's just another thing. All right, next question. Favorite okay, so last question. What advice do you give to those seeking membership into a D9 org?
Okay, I'll go. My advice to everyone that is watching this wonderful event tonight would be stay true to yourself, go and being knowledgeable, and know that this is forever. And one thing that stuck with me when I was a freshman was take everything for a grain of salt. And that's my advice to y'all. And do not quit.
I'm gonna just keep mine short and simple. If it's meant for you, it will happen. That's it. I had to remind myself that all the time. So I'm gonna just keep it at that.
I'll be quick too. I agree with everyone else, but just to remind everyone, like this is a lifetime commitment. So like we've been saying the whole time, just make sure you're doing your research. Don't pick any org that you decide on just because maybe your friend is doing, or just because everyone else is doing it, or just because maybe your legacy and that's not what you feel like doing. It's not like resonating with you. So make sure, I would say, you're always doing your research. Make sure you know who you are, like I stated before, and just pick the right org because it's a lifetime commitment. So you kind of can't back out of it.
All right. You gonna go, Jordan?
Yeah, I'll go. Definitely just be real genuine, like with it, you know what I mean? Don't do it for the wrong reasons, because like they said, it's a lifetime commitment, and if you don't commit your lifetime to it, you kind of you're in the wrong there. And if you kind of do it for the wrong reasons and you still have to commit your lifetime to it, you're going to be miserable just because you want to do it for a little college fame or just to have a little clout. It's really not worth that, you know what I mean? Because if you are a good person who you are, you're going to feel kind of welcomed and cool with people regardless if you're in an organization or not. So yeah, my advice is just don't let it define you. If you want to be a part of it, just, you know what I mean, reach out, get to know the people that are part of the organization, because, like, how can you be a part of something and you don't know about anyone that's in it, and know about the organization too? Because another thing, how you going to want to be a part of something and you don't know about the organization at all? And yeah, that's all. Just be genuine with kind of just learning about it, and yeah, it'll be cool.
Mine is kind of short, but still. my main thing to give advice is stay to your why. No matter what, if you have a reason to join, stay with that why. Don't ever let that why go. You're gonna remember that why. And you're gonna stay with that why. And don't let it be some dumb why that you just want to have for it. Don't be all hard like, oh, I want to get the girls and all of that. Nah, forget all of that. Have a why that makes like more sense to you and this is personal. And stay with that why. And that's going to help you get through, and that's also going to help you be more representative. And they want to pick you because like you had that why, and now we know you have that. Well, you have that why.
Yes, I can't emphasize enough on that why. Like, really, my biggest advice is to really think about who you want to be as a person, what you want to do with your life, and figure out, is this something that can help me, can help other people? Can I help other people through this organization? Is this going to help me like be able to give back? Is this going to help me be the person I want to be, which is this, that, and the third? Really think about who you want to be as a person. Do you actually go out and do service? Do you actually have over a 2.75 GPA? Do you actually are you actually like, you feel me? Like, are you that person? And do you want to, and, really be real with yourself, So that's my advice.
No, that's facts.
That was beautiful. Right on.
It's about that why.
It's about that why.
It's not just you see people strolling in the stew, whatever, doing whatever in the stew. It's not that. I mean, I still have yet to be able to stroll in the stew. So, like, you think it's that?
I mean, done it yet.
You gotta let that go, man. So you gotta definitely, that why is important.
I also want to add to be ready to put in the work, because I was not ready for that, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to be ready as soon as you cross or whatever to be able to put your 100% into your organization.
Yeah, definitely ask yourself what their values are and if it aligns with yours, their principles, and ask yourself, like, what can you do for the organization? Not always what can they do for you, or what can you benefit from the org, but like, what can you do for organization? Like we said, community service and stuff like that. So what can you do to help it grow? Because like we said, it's a lifetime commitment. Like, you're paying to join this. So
there's been so many organizations that have all these great foundations. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what organization it is, it has an amazing foundation already. So you have to kind of find something that's unique where they'll need you as an addition rather than you kind of just adding on, continuing on with the stuff that they already have set in stone. So. Sydney, you're muted.
My bad, guys. I was about to say, I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions in the audience to just drop them in the chat. Or in the comment section.
Don't be shy, y'all.
Don't be shy. Any questions at all? I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. So
kind of while we're waiting, we can ask, what has been y'all like favorite memory so far being in your organization?
I'm gonna just go because it's my most recent memory, but being able to perform in the Macy's Day Parade last Thanksgiving, I think that was like my greatest memory so far, being a part of Zeta, because it's just like, I mean, when I crossed, I never expected like I was gonna do that. Like, yeah, like everyone steps and strolls and stuff like that. I never expected I was gonna have the opportunity. So I think so far that would be my greatest one.
I saw you, girl. I was cheering you on.
What was the question again? It was, what's my favorite memory?
Yeah.
Honestly, homecoming. Homecoming has to be my favorite, and it always will be my favorite. Because Cause that's just when all like my graduated line sisters came back, my pro fights came back, other GI sorors from like 99, 84 came back. Like we got to meet everybody, we got to serenade. It was just a beautiful experience, and that was probably had to be my favorite moment.
I think one of my favorite moments will have to be like the very, very beginning, the first day of like everyone coming together and just looking around. And I'll just remember looking around. I'm just like, wow, oh, it's here. Oh, it's time. Like, I think that was like the first one, like literally the first day when when you get everyone, it's just like, oh, this is serious. Like, I think that's one of my favorite memories. And that's like one of my first memories.
I think my favorite memory would probably have to be the first event I put on by myself. It was my idea, I did all the work, helped with the flyer, it was like, this is me. Like, I felt so proud of myself because I never thought I could do that. And then plus even creating our website, like I didn't know I could do that as well. So like I've just been learning so much. So yeah.
No one has any questions? Are you serious? Oh
no, we got two. We got two. We got two. Aaliyah Jordan asked, what has being in your organization taught you about yourself?
I can go first because I guess it wasn't, I guess you could say it's my organization, but it was more my sisters. They taught me that I'm stronger than what I thought I was, because I don't really know what I thought I was before, but just like my sisters have really brought out the best in me and made me a stronger person. So yeah.
For me, I'd say I kind of have to agree with Julianne because I didn't realize, I guess it helped me realize like what I'm capable of doing and what I can actually do. And like sometimes I have to speak up if I want to get something. Because like right now I'm the vice president of my chapter and of NPHC. Like when I crossed, I never thought like I was going to want to do any of that. Like I thought I was just going to do community service, like create activities and like events and stuff like that. I didn't think I was going to do this. So I think joining this organization has really helped me do that and kind of like step up to the plate and like kind of challenge myself and realize what responsibilities I can and can't take on and just balancing time and stuff like
that.
No, you good, bro. You can go ahead.
For me, it definitely has. I kind of already was like in a couple organizations beforehand, but this one is definitely like one of my more prominent responsibility when it comes to roles, especially kind of being Mr. Pyro right now as well. Time management. I kind of always want to. I kind of always want to help all the time, or make sure something goes well, or try to put my hands in all these like different cookie jars. And sometimes I catch myself up and doing a little bit too much sometimes. So that's kind of one thing it taught me, is just being a little bit better with time management and kind of having a routine and schedule of doing everything, because you'll think your whole day will be set up, planned out. You might say, oh, I gotta do this for the chapter, or I gotta hop on this for the browser, something like that. So definitely being better with my time management.
I would say for sure it's belief in myself. I used to be one of those people who just like kind of stood in the back, kind of like in the shadow. I didn't really want to be out there at all. But after like being in this organization, it's like one of those things like I'm just now out there. I have to do certain things that sometimes I don't want to do, and I have to do things at like a certain standard. So now it's just like I'm out there. I can't do anything about it, so I got to do my best and represent my best ones I can.
Yeah, I have to agree. One thing I would say my organization taught me was be prepared for change. Be prepared to think on your toes last minute, and always know that there is something to do. You know, there's always something to do. Someone always needs help. And definitely, you know, like everyone else said, to believe, a lot, my line sisters definitely taught me to believe in myself and to be more upfront with what I can do and how I can help, and to really just do it. Like, just go after what you want to do and don't hold back. So that's definitely something my organization taught me.
Thank you. Question from Carly is, what is one thing you didn't expect after joining?
One thing I didn't expect. One thing I didn't expect. Here, I got one. Okay. I didn't expect that I would still need to make effort to, I guess, like, be with each other, if that makes sense. Like, it's, you know, I don't really know how to describe it, but I know I still needed to make an effort to get to know everyone. I knew that I would have to go out of my way to do things with my line sisters. I would need to go out of my way to literally, like, whether I was studying, I would go into a group chat and say, who wants to study with me? When in reality, I know I like to study alone. But to, you know, get to know your line sister, get to know the people in the organization, get to know the people you're making a change with. You got to make a change yourself in your daily routine. So that's definitely something I didn't expect. But it was good. It was for the best. So.
I've been thinking about this question. I would say thing I didn't expect. Maybe I'm not so sure if I didn't expect it, but just learning to work. I don't want to say I didn't expect it, but I guess like just learning to work with so many different personalities at one time, and like kind of growing a tolerance for all my line sisters, because like prior to this, yeah, I was in like other organizations and stuff on campus, but like for the most part, I was to myself, and generally I like being to myself. So like afterwards, I kind of have to get used to being with like all my sisters and just managing all the personalities and just kind of like meshing together. Just, I mean, now I love them. So, but yeah.
I'll go ahead and answer. One thing I didn't expect, definitely would probably be just kind of, I don't want to say, because I was expecting to do a lot of work. I was expecting to do like a lot of work and do, but it's one thing I didn't expect is like kind of how difficult. All right, so one thing I am tasked with, I'm the ace, whatever. They always kind of say like ace as whatever, but kind of like I never wasn't expecting how like much it was like becoming a part of the organization, how much that plays into it afterwards. Like a lot of the personalities are still consistent, and kind of just making sure all of your line brothers or line sisters are all on the same, kind of always on the same page. That's like a little difficult because you guys always have like 20 different ideas, and it's hard to kind of sometimes make it easier together all on paper. So I definitely thought it was just gonna, like, outside looking in, you think everything looks cool going into like whether it's a brother organization, everything, but it definitely takes like a lot more work than I really thought.
Yeah, for me, I was not expecting how like back to back everything is. Like you're always doing something, like Sydney said, like literally always, whether it's community service, an event, a meeting, it's always something. So that was one thing I wasn't not expecting for sure.
One thing I could say I did not expect were the people who I would call my line brothers. Honestly, I knew them in person, but I didn't expect them to be the same organization that I was going for. So that's like one thing. and then the relation that we just built all together is just like something I didn't expect as well. Because I don't really have that many, I have friends, but I have that many people I can call close friends and brothers to the point where it's like I can trust them with most of my stuff that I say and like most of the stuff that I do all the time.
All right. We can go ahead to the next question from Trinity Woodson. How has being in your organization contributed to your personal and professional growth?
I can say that, like as I said, I feel like I always knew who I was, and like I'm very in tune with my personality and I guess myself. But it made me grow personally, knowing that like I'm good at working with others. I am, but I like doing stuff my own way, my own pace, and like I like kind of taking charge. But knowing when you're with a lot of people are have the same like kind of mind as you, kind of same like spirit or personality that you have, it clashes. So knowing that you have to really work with that and work well with other people, and you can't really get upset. Like you can get upset, but just like, okay, man, like that's my girl, that's my sister. Like, you know, okay, yeah, I know we're clashing right now. I got to step away from the situation, maybe come back and be like, okay, now let's try to compromise. Let's try to work something out. So I can say that for me, that was something that I really had to adjust to, and also being transparent. I think transparency is big with anything. Really telling people like, okay, well, this is how I feel, and let me hear how you feel. So literally working as a team 24/7. I think people don't really understand like your organization. It's like your own team. You have to work together. You know, one sound, one band. So it's just like that is something that was kind of challenging for me to really get over. That's just my personal journey story.
You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. Communication for me, for sure, definitely making sure being able to communicate with everyone, whether it's in chapter, different organizations, Line Brothers, Pro Fights. It has one thing I've learned, like being in this organization, whatever you were doing before, the rest of your life does not stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's just another additional kind of add-on that you have. So kind of making sure that everyone kind of knows what's going on and how everything's being done, where they have to be. It's definitely one thing I've had to learn so far, and how it's helped me professionally. Because when you get to, I know when I get to after I graduate, there's going to be a lot of situations where I'm going to have to maybe talk with someone or have like a lot of different things going on. I have to communicate with them. So definitely works with your communication skills for sure.
Yeah, I kind of touched on this one before in terms of like the roles that I have, because prior to this, like I said, I was in other organizations, but I didn't have leadership roles. So now that I'm in this organization and I have more leadership roles and like more responsibilities, it's taught me time management and things like that. And like just working behind the scenes, like I have to balance my time. I have to accommodate everyone else. So like making sure like with my sisters, I let them know things in advance, or keeping in touch with my advisor and stuff like that. And just being able to be open to like everyone else. So like, cause sometimes I like working by myself. So like, I know what I want to do and how I want things to be, but working with everyone else, like I just have to be open to it and just learn some patience sometimes.
All right. Just for time's sake, we have time for one more question. Question is from Cheyenne Patterson. How have you all preserved the intimacy within the organization despite being all over the country due to COVID? And that kind of goes with Janice's question as well. How do you all think COVID has impacted your ability to serve? So yeah, so just kind of like all right, you can go the either or question is kind of the same one. So we'll go this one. How have you all preserved the intimacy within the organization despite being all over the country due to COVID?
Social media, Zoom, FaceTime parties. It's something that
Netflix movie night.
Netflix night, like it's something like we're so privileged that we have all this technology that we can be away, but we're really not away. Not to say something's challenging, you know, I guess meeting up with your sister to do community service as a group, but you still can do that solo. So it's just like really, I feel like, yes, it has changed, but in reality, we are so privileged to have all this technology that can make us be together virtually.
Yeah. That's one thing. So one thing my chapter has for me personally, we have a fellowship night on Thursdays, and we hop on this Zoom, like anyone that's ever crossed in the chapter, and we have bros that get back on all the way back to they crossed in 1960, and we just be up talking on the Zoom till 5, 6. Yeah, we just be up. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, yeah. So it's just we on Zoom like all night, just talking and rapping and just kind of building connections and relationships with all these people. So, like I said, I crossed the 20, so I didn't have all of the joys of being able to do like anything in person officially. So all I really know is kind of my organization through Zoom. I meant through virtual. So being able to like tap into find different ways to tap into everyone else on campus or things like that has just been pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bummer that, you know, we're not all on campus right now. But, you know, Zoom, like everyone said, Zoom pretty much, Netflix, Hulu night. I know me and my line sisters, we have a Avatar: The Last Airbenders group chat. I know we have a, you know, like just little group chats that, you know, really keep us closer, you know, like doing things, you know, trying to keep us together, stuff like that. We're just being very creative right now. Yeah. So I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you for whoever.
Yes, thank you, y'all. And remember, I hope you listened to what we said. This is some great knowledge. I wish I had this, you know, when I was coming in.
Same.
And for my panelists, if y'all could just stay after just real quick, just find a nice little I just want to talk to you guys real quick. And yeah. Thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you everybody for coming.
We got 2 good questions coming.
All right. Oh, we got 2 good questions. All right.